got a fuzzy thing on my microphone, so I wanted to try to record this video outside. On April 26, 2019, a movie came out that would change cinematic history. Avengers Endgame became the first movie to ever break $1 billion in one weekend, and it's starting to beat Avatar's global records right now. For a lot of comic book and movie fans like me, Avengers Endgame was a huge deal. Like, a huge deal. It's the culmination of 11 years worth of movies, all of them based on comics that I know I grew up with and loved. It's a movie that's really, really important to a lot of people, and while it's not perfect, there's a lot to love about it. So with this video, I had an interesting idea. I wanted to kind of interview my friends and ask them what their favorite thing about Avengers Endgame is. Whether that's a part of the movie, or just kind of a thing in general about the fact that the movie exists, or anything like that. I just really want to know how much this movie can mean to people. So, this is why we love Avengers Endgame.
One of the best parts. Alright. One of my favorite parts about Avengers Endgame was at the very end when they're fighting against Thanos, and it's Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor, and they're all kind of beating them up, but then they start losing, and then out of nowhere, Doctor Strange comes back and brings everyone back through the portals, and it was really cool, and there was like a lot of people. And it was like one of the best ways to finish a movie, in my opinion. That was like one of the best ways to finish like all of the characters and like bringing everyone together at the end and just kind of fighting. It will be interesting to see though how in later movies, like in the new Spider-Man movie and whatever else they're doing after that, besides like obviously since they're done with Avengers, to see how like the people, either just like normal citizens and also heroes, react and kind of play off of the, you know, amount of people that they now know are superheroes, I guess you could say. And yeah, it'd be kind of cool. Otherwise, besides that, it's a horrible movie. It was just garbage.
My favorite thing about Endgame was the final battle climactic scene, because when you have a really large-scale battle like that, I really enjoy large-scale battles because I'm an action nerd and junkie, but definitely when you compare it to Lord of the Rings, both of them are very epic and very amazing in their own right, and that's why it's very difficult for me to say that I like Endgame's battle scene better just because both are so good. But I will say that just because of the MCU in general and the overall tones of the entire MCU, I really enjoy Endgame's final battle more, just because of the fact that it is the biggest crossover event in history, and it's also a really, really awesome scene. I really enjoyed it, and I also really enjoyed the emotional aspect of it as well. And previous ongoing jokes with Cap raising Mjolnir, I thought that was a pretty nice touch as well.
I really like the nostalgia of Avengers Endgame, and I like how a lot of it was based off the characters' past, and especially Tony Stark with his dad, and how Tony couldn't really like tell his dad, but like, because they didn't really know each other even like when they were alive at the same time. Like, since like the movie was a kind of more about, or like the Avengers was more about like Tony and Steve, like then like you said that their backstories were brought up a lot, and so then that's why like the biggest main ones were Tony's life, how his kind of came to an end, but it came to an end like really in a symbolic way, and so did Steve with like his true love and how he actually got to dance with her and didn't not be able to be with her.
So my favorite thing about Avengers Endgame was that it switched a lot between emotional and action, and it was blended so well. You had time to cry and to really dwell in the emotions, but then it didn't drag on to the point where it was right back into the action. So you cried a little, and then it was right back into the heat of the moment. You were captivated at what was happening. Really cool.
I could not even begin to describe the immense amount of effort, creativity, and pure gritty determination it takes to make a feature-length film, let alone a good one. And Marvel Studios has produced an 11-year streak of amazing films at their best, which is a monumental achievement I could not begin to do justice with words. Imagine being tasked with creating a coherent ending to this saga. This ending would have to respect the characters' personal journeys, keep the focus on an engaging plot, and draw this expansive opera to a close. All this while satisfying both fans and general audiences alike. And as a fan, I can confidently say that I walked out of that theater satisfied.
And now, finally, we're getting into what my favorite thing about Avengers Endgame is. Throughout all of the Avengers movies, I personally have always thought that it's been the story of two characters, Captain America and Iron Man, Steve Rogers and Tony Stark. I love Avengers Endgame because it really puts a nice period on the end of their stories. It's a great conclusion to both of their character arcs. And I really love that. If they were gonna provide any sort of finality to any of the characters in Avengers Endgame, I really feel like Captain America and Iron Man were the ones to do it with. Throughout most of the Avengers series, Tony Stark has always struggled with whether he's going to be able to save his friends or his family. He's had many other character arcs too throughout his movie series and the Avengers series, but I feel like that's the primary one. He's struggled with power and whether he can have enough power to save the people he likes or loves. And I really think that arc started at the end of Avengers 1 when he kind of, put the nuke through the portal. And it got really interesting in Avengers 2 when he had the vision of whether he's, he had the vision where he imagined himself being the only one to survive, essentially the events of Infinity War, while all of his other friends die. And that kind of happened at the end of Infinity War. And I feel like that final sacrifice that he made at the end of the movie with that line that, "I am Iron Man," that's just him realizing, I am Iron Man. I have the power to save my friends. To me, that was just a great ending to him, to his story arc. And for Cap, obviously I love Spider-Man, and Spider-Man's my favorite superhero of all time, but my favorite character of the MCU is probably Captain America. The hard thing about writing Steve Rogers is that it's hard to give a nearly perfect man a story arc, a character arc. It's hard for someone who's already an amazing person to become a better person by the end of the movie. So Cap's character arc focused a lot on finding love and finding himself. And where he finally got a happy ending at the end of Endgame, that really got to me. I cried at the end of the movie. Just having that finality and that conclusion to him, I just really liked that. That was probably my favorite part. So to me, my favorite thing about Avengers Endgame is the end of the story of the two main characters of the MCU, Captain America and Iron Man. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you a lot for watching. Well, I don't have any homework to work on this summer. I'm just gonna be kind of working a lot, so I'm gonna try to put a lot more Film Rants videos out. If you really enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Bye.